Hello and welcome to another episode of Catch Play, your sports development program. Hey, it's great to have your company. I'm Mike Hoime. Unfortunately, our host Godwin is unable to be with us tonight, but joining me on the show is guest host Judah Memafu.
Thank you very much, Mike. It's an awesome pleasure to be with you on Catch Play tonight.
Well, the sporting world always has something brewing, and as such, our lineup for the show is definitely looking fabulous. Judah, why don't you take us to the rundown of tonight's show?
For sure, Mai. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, strap on your seatbelts. Here is the lineup for Catch Play tonight.
Coming up on Catch Play tonight, we take a look at how sport is helping to change a community, girls empowerment through Kriket Program, Netball PNG and Water Aid Loan Sports Development Program for girls and women, and we have a talk about development of sports in PNG and gender equality in sports. Well, it looks like we're in a jam-packed show for tonight.
And we most certainly are, Mai. Why don't you take us through the lineup for tonight?
Sports has a way of bringing people together of all walks of life and also plays a role in bringing positive change into society. The Vanagi community located in Port Moresby South has set up volleyball competition to keep their youths occupied with sports and out of trouble. Let's check out the story. To the south of this busy city of Port Moresby lies a small community called Vanagi. It is a community around the Badili area nestled behind local Ella Motors dealership and Koki market. Just recently, the community has set up a volleyball competition that runs every weekend for their youths. This event was an initiative taken up by the youths of Vanagi to keep them out of trouble and from engaging in illegal activities.
In our organization at Badili Vanagi settlement, there's our community leaders that sees boys and girls doing nothing in settlement, and mostly like boys, they drinking too much and they do sorts of rubbish in our settlement. So our community leaders decided to make a volleyball team that we all can enjoy and we won't do what we're supposed to do.
This competition is not only for youths, but is a program that involves everyone in that community as well, young or old. This is also a reforming process for the youths to turn away from the illegal activities they do and start taking up sports to keep them busy during the weekends. You never know, PNG's next top volleyballer could be unearthed from this little community of Vanagi.
We are from Vanagi, Darwin Blood, and you are watching
Well, Mai, how did you hear about this story?
Well, I was at Ella Beach on the weekend, on Saturday, and there were a group of youths who were setting up a volleyball net at the volleyball competition area, and I made it my business to walk over and ask them, you know, what competition they were training for. So that's how I found out that these were the people from the Vanagi community setting up something for the youths.
All right. Tell us about a couple of people that you also talked to in regard to this competition that they're running in the community.
Well, it's a community, you know, the youths took the initiative to, you know, keep themselves out of trouble and, you know, during the weekends, get themselves busy, play a bit of sports in the community, and, you know, plus also, it's not only for youths, but also for older men and women in the community, the little kids, to get the message across that sports is something that will keep you busy and make you become someone different one day. And, you know, volleyball is, as we speak, is stepping up. They have a Super League competition that will be coming. So this, speaking to the chairman yesterday at this the community, he was talking about the community is popular for rugby league. And this is like an off season for them, and they're trying to keep the youths busy by just keeping the fitness level love, playing volleyball and soccer, and also, you know, it keeps that vibe and excitement in the community.
Yep. So, Mai, tell us, how long has this competition been running?
Oh, it's just started 2 weeks ago, so they're going into the third week of competition. They're not sponsored. They're, just an initiative taken up by the youth, like I said, and they're thinking to bring the sports minister to visit the community and see what the community is doing for the youths.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We'll take a quick break and back on the other side. Get Kriket Program for girls.
Welcome back. If you have just joined us, you're watching Catch Play, your sports development program. Judah?
Netball PNG has hosted the inaugural Tri-Series recently completed over the weekend to coincide with the celebration of International Women's Day here in Port Moresby. Now, participating in this first-of-its-kind event were Victoria Fury, the Singaporean national team, and our very own PNG Peppers. Here's Mike Koime with this story.
Netball PNG and WaterAid PNG launched its development program at the Crown Plaza to support the development of netball in the country through this pilot project, choosing netball as the first sports to partner with. Patron of the Netball PNG, Linda Babao O'Neill, said the program will empower women and girls through capacity building of sporting organizations promoting sports development. To also celebrate this event, Netball PNG had an invitational Tri-Series competition to also mark the International Women's Day. The Singaporean national team and the Victoria Fury were invited to attend the 3-day meet, which also included the PNG national team, Peppers. They also used this platform to get the message across to women, young and old, to improve sanitation and access to clean water. Speaking with some of the visiting young netball players about the netball development in their own countries, Kimberly Lim from the Singapore national team was excited to share the development of netball in Singapore. We also spoke to Victoria Fury's youngest player, Brooke Allen, who was also excited, and it was an experience for her to be part of the Netball PNG and WaterAid Netball Development Program.
Well, Mike, walk us through, how did the Tri-Series go? You were there on the ground. Tell us, what was the atmosphere like?
The Tri-Series for Netball PNG, it was a great atmosphere to have countries like the Singapore national team, where our very own PNG Peppers usually go over and play them. And we had the Victorian State champions from Melbourne who came to play this invitational meet, which was to celebrate also the International Women's Day. The three countries, it was an experience for the two countries to come on board and share their experience and, show the talent and also learn from each other of what development of netball in their country. And they also implemented new international netball rules where our very own PNG Peppers don't use.
Ooh.
And when it came to Victoria and the PNG Peppers playing, it was a totally different game, which they took control of the most of the game, which our girls try to catch up. But it was an experience for the girls, and it is something for the Netball PNG to now start getting used to using the international rules for netball in the country.
All right, Mike. Now, do you think, in your opinion, do you think that having more competitions like this, having more invitational meets like this, do you think that it will lift the level of competition in our country, in the national sport itself?
I guess so, because, this is very important. With these facilities we have now, we have no excuse. We can always bring other countries over. This is the first of its kind for Netball PNG. They partnered with WaterAid, and WaterAid PNG was sponsored by Australian HICOM. They brought in the two countries. The main message that WaterAid PNG partnered with the Netball PNG was to go out there and talk about hygiene, the access of clean water to women and young girls out there. And this is something that we need. We need competitions from international countries to come and to help us to advance, to learn the experience and to move forward and to develop also our up-and-coming netball players.
All right, now, you were telling me a little bit about how netball is a growing sport in the country. Now, it's not always in the spotlight, am I correct? But
Yes.
they have 20,000 members?
They have 20,000 members as we speak. You know, this is the biggest ever, you know, sport. Yeah, female sport in the country. And, you know, it has not been coming out in the limelight a lot.
True,
and for us
true.
to go and cover it and find out about 20,000 people, I mean, female who have registered for this very own competition, for these sports, ages 8 to 65 years old.
Wow.
Imagine 65 years old, also taking part in netball for fun, to keep the fitness level up, to also be healthy, and all the thanks to Netball PNG.
True.
And
True.
also they have a partnership with WaterAid PNG.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing more and more of sports being used as a platform to undertake issues that are affecting our communities, families, and society in general. But that's all we have for this particular segment. We'll take a quick break and back on the other side, more of your catch play. Welcome back to the show. You're watching Catch Play. Mai, what do we have?
Gender equality takes center stage this week, and rightly so. Now, Kriket launched its Girls Empowerment Through Kriket program on Tuesday, and I had the opportunity to find out firsthand how Kriket is aiming to empower our women folk. Let's check it out. Kriket PNG launched a program called the Girls Empowerment Through Kriket at the Amini Park in Port Moresby. This launching was done in the presence of the PNG Hebel Baramandis and the PNG CPL Lewis, along with female students and their teachers from Marineville, Tokarara, Gordons and Jubilee secondary schools. The Girls Empowerment Through Kriket program is a sports development program initiated by the Kriket PNG last year and funded by AUSAID. Kriket PNG is proud to use cricket as the vehicle for change to empower young girls in secondary schools. This was also to celebrate Girls Empowerment Through Kriket program to show respect, appreciation and love towards all girls and women of this country. The main aim of the Girls Empowerment Program Through Kriket program to increase female participation in playing hardball cricket and empower young girls through educational sessions. In helping to deliver this program, Kriket PNG partnered with IBS, Enlicare, NCD Taekwondo, NCD Health, Maristop and Coalition for Change PNG.
Get Kriket program. Mai, tell us a little bit about this.
Girls Kriket program is a sports development program that's been running for some years now. We marked International Women's Day, that was yesterday, and Kriket PNG celebrated that by bringing their very own PNG Lewis, who had a discussion panel with our very own Hebel PNG Baramandis, and we had schoolgirls from Jubilee, Marineville, and Gary who attended that girls cricket program on how these schoolgirls wanted to know about how cricket really helps the young up-and-coming cricket players in the country, plus overall in general women in sports. And we found out that it's never too late. It is not late. Women are taking up, you know, the sports that man has once dominated. So it was great to see that the young girls who are also not only in school, but they've signed a contract. And it was interesting to know that women have now signed a contract to play cricket for PNG. Likewise, the Netball PNG Baramandi. So questions were raised like, you know, do you really enjoy this sport? What is your long-term goal for the girls? And it was a bit hard for some girls to answer those kind of questions because most of these players come from village background, and literacy as we speak is something that is that needs to be really put in place in sports for our up-and-coming men and women in sports in the country. I think the boys were pretty supportive with women taking up men's sports now. They were, you know, talking about a lot of encouragement of going out there and developing sport, doing awareness, getting a lot more women on board to take up sports that has never been taken up by women before, and encouraging them and saying there's no barriers. If you want to achieve something, go for it. If you know you're good at it, it's never too late to do it. If you can do it, you'll be someone different. Maybe one day you'll be representing the country in that sport or in any other sport. So PNG Baramandis were very encouraging to the young girls, especially the school girls who were interested in taking up Kriket Program. One of the girls was identified from Marinville Secondary, and she's from Mount Hagen.
Wow, okay.
And as we speak, the Highlands region don't play cricket.
Not very
They are
much,
now stepping into the limelight to take up cricket serious. Cricket is more of like a coastal sport that is taken up by Motuans.
Predominantly, yeah.
We can see that there's a girl from Marinville, from Mount Hagen, who has been identified by PNG Cricket to be part of the training squad in the PNG levels.
Wow.
So that was the news and an exciting achievement for her to be in the sport like that.
All right, that's all we have for this particular segment. Stay tuned. On the other side of this break, we've got development of sports in Papua New Guinea, how far we've come, plus gender equality issues affecting sports. We also have some vox pop, so we're going to be hearing from the people what they think of sports development in Papua New Guinea. You're watching Catch Play on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Welcome back. If you have just joined us, you're watching Catch Play, development of sports in PNG and how far we have come. Judah.
Well, that's right. Well, I don't look like I'm much of a sports person, so I don't really know how much of my what I have to say about this particular thing will have any weight on the sporting community and people are going to change overnight. But we've seen an improvement in sports over the years, and especially at the 2015 Pacific Games we had last year. There was a definite level of competitiveness that has lifted, and I think we've seen progress more and more. Your thoughts on this as a professional athlete?
My thought on sports now, look, sport has so much stepped up in this country. Facilities, athletes now coming up to be the best in their own sporting events, you know, branding, sponsorship, everything is so stepped up in the sporting society in our country. And you know, it is great to see that we are taking sports seriously. We want to be making name for our country, making name for our family and the people of Papua New Guinea. And the sports that we take part in, we're serious about it. We're not playing around about sports in this country now.
Well, besides being a prolific athlete, you also do side training on the side. I mean, you enable yourself as a training coach as well for other different sporting codes. Do you think training techniques and the commitment level of athletes has changed?
Well, I think training techniques and commitment has really changed. There's a lot of new rules coming up in a lot of sporting events now, and commitment in training. We see that a lot more sport has come in, like signing contracts for athletes now and paying athletes to full-on train. And this is something that a lot of our sportsmen and women has now taken in really seriously and be committed in training. If you're committed in training and you're on time and all that, you get paid for what you do. And also, technique-wise, you have to be really open-minded to learn about that sport. You know, if you're a really enclosed athlete, how will you get things in? Because you want to be the next top athlete in the country.
Very, very true. Now, it's not only here in PNG, but also worldwide. Talking about earlier on about netball and the rules having changed. For those of you rugby league followers, you know the NRL has also had a lot of changes to the substitution rules and all of that type of stuff too as well. So we're seeing that fitness levels have to be at an all-time high, unlike previous years.
Look, fitness level now, we've seen a lot. Now I've been seeing a lot of people coming up in personal trainers now, fitness trainers. They're going out there to sell themselves and say, look, I've got this strength and condition background. I've got this fitness certificate. If you need this performance, I'm here. So a lot of not only our athletes are taking up fitness, we can see a lot of people are not involved in sports. They make time to go to the gym. So they want to keep that fitness level going because they want to see themselves as being healthy and also being part of a sporting event. They take up the corporate, competitions on the weekends just to keep them busy. And it also, one thing, it keeps your mind healthy.
True.
When you take up sport, it keeps you healthy, it makes your mind healthy, you can think straight.
Very true.
And the plus goes to the very, high-profile sporting facilities we have. And now that everybody wants to be part of that competition to look fit,
we also
be fit just up here.
I have to be fit up here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we decided to take it to the streets and ask people what they think about sports development in the country. Here it is. We'll check it out. Sports development in the country, what does the general public think?
Yeah, na sports where you can play logan kind of rugby, soccer bad. Or gaman we also like him sports lo play too much also like him lo sponsor him too much rugby na this also like lo sponsors. Good last sports where by me like play logan soccer is like kind of now papa ni gini plenty you got plenty key player lo rugby too one times.
Yeah, I think they should because everyone's they're good at something else and but the majority of PNG Papua New Guineans they like rugby, so I think that's why the government they put more money into rugby. I think netball. Netball is one because, we go for gender equity and most females are more into netball.
Maybe no basketball tasol. You got all another plus sports like soccer, volleyball. You may name it. We got plenty of games and stuff. So me good plan more long. Government can funding money in.
The government is spending a lot of money apart from the other sports, and I think that it should be good to distribute the money equally to other sports because there are a lot of sports people, especially in the category of youths.
All right, gender equality in sports. Now that's a very, very serious issue as well. Mai, how important is it for us to take gender equality and its seriousness in sports as well?
I think it's very serious for us now because with a lot of different sports coming up, it has been dominated by male. All alone, we read about male sport, and now we've seen that barrier has been broken. Women has come on board to take up male-dominated sport, and gender equality. We should be supporting what the interests of women in this country want to take up.
True.
There's a lady from Chimbo who's doing the bike riding, and she's going to be the first female that will be coming out in the PNG Games to ride the dirt bike in front of the PNG Games athletes, and first of its kind. It is a male-dominated sport, and I don't see why women should not be stopped in taking that sport.
Very true. Catchplay also covered a story about the Paralympic athlete who's also
going
competing
to qualify for Rio.
One of the most interesting things that we did mention in the story was that she's ranked
number 4 in the world.
Number 4 in the world. Wow. See, so women are also making headways in the sports where it's usually a male-dominated thing. Well, as an athlete as well, how do you feel with all these issues being talked about, especially throughout this week? International Women's Day was on Tuesday, and you covered quite a number of sports, netball and cricket, and all of those issues were centered around gender equality and fairness in play. Your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it is very important to have that International Women's Day to recognize a lot of women who've not been recognized out there. It has been all alone men been recognized. And for me, taking up athletics was once a male-dominated sport, and the trainings that we do was pretty much, it's man's training, and we put our body into that line to be out there to run that fast times, to look fit. People think that it's so easy to be a runner or to have that kind of build, but it's hard work, and we women have gone through putting that into hard work, and the outcome is now you know that women have broken that barrier, and it's interesting to know that some sport has stepped in to help the women achieve their goals and dreams.
All right. Now, speaking of barriers, one barrier that hasn't been broken is your 200-meter record.
No, 100 meters.
Oh, see, I got corrected live on TV. 100-meter record still held by Mike Oime. Well, I decided to throw another question out to the public. Now, if you had Nelson Stone, current PNG sprint
meters,
king,
yeah.
Mike Oime, and Toya Whistle running a race, who do you think would win? And this was their responses. Trust me, it's hilarious, some of the responses. Let's check it out.
Mike Wime about win.
My eating all boys and all Becky stop so.
Toya Whistle, obviously.
Oh my God, my.
Nelson Stone.
Why?
Because I'm sprinter.
I am my all bagarabi.
Toya Whistle.
I'm Toya Whistle. I'm nothing true about win.
I'm so. My all bagarabi stop.
Maya Koime,
Why?
because she's the fastest woman.
My, did you hear that? You're the fastest woman, so that's good.
Yeah, right. Did you capture that?
All right, thank you, bro.
Well, Judah, time has caught up with us. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of our show for tonight, but please do not hesitate to send us an email. Feedback is always appreciated, or if you've got a sports development story for us to look into, let us know. Judah?
Yeah, that's right. Email us, sports@mtv.com.pg, or you can also visit us here at MTV. We're located at Level 2 Garden City, Boroko. Godwin will be back next week, so make sure to tune in.
Well, that's it for tonight's show. I'm Mike Oime.
And I'm Judah Memafu.
From all of us here at Catch Play, good night.